The launch of X4 Foundation is just around the corner, and it's shaping up to be quite the competitor to Elite Dangerous. But does this spell the beginning of the end of Elite? Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to X4, a brand new game that is set to launch on the 30th of November this year. First of all, I just want to get you guys very quickly up to speed with the game in case you haven't been following it, just so you know what it is and what's going to happen here. And then later in the video, I'm going to give you my thoughts on how this is going to be a competitor, or if it's going to be a competitor to Elite. But first of all, let's get started with getting you guys up to date on the game itself. First of all, I should say this is not a review. I haven't played the game. I've only seen the videos that that the publishers themselves have posted on YouTube and stuff like that. So don't take this as a review. So first of all, X4 is the fourth game in the X series of games. Now they have underlined pretty clearly that you don't have to have played the 3 previous games in order to play this game. It is completely standalone, even though it is in the same universe. That of course means that there is already a pretty extensive backstory to what have happened to the various races in this space sandbox game. So I guess that's a little bit of a plus. This is a big background history here. They present the game as a feature-rich space sandbox, so I thought it would be good to start by diving down into some of those features that are going to be available, that they say they're going to be available at launch. Of course, they have all the basic stuff like trading between space stations, they have mining, they have combat. Now, those are like the pillars. You have to have that in a space game like this. But they also have is space station building. It seems that the game is a lot focused around the whole trading manufacturing process, and if I understand this correctly, you're going to be able to build your own space stations in space, and you can set them up as a manufacturing chain where you pull in resources, and then you produce some goods that you can then go and sell in the market. So from that point of view, it kind of sounds a little bit like Factorial, but in space, where you have to go and find materials, put it there, make a manufacturing line and stuff like that. The game is going to be able to be played in both first and third person, both when you fly your ships, which range from small fighter type ships up all the way to big capital ships. They have space lakes. You can walk around inside your ship on space stations, it seems. And then they have something that I actually think is a very neat feature, and it's something that most people really don't talk that much about, but I think is if it's done right, it's gonna be pretty much the definition feature for me in the game, and that is the ability to remote control your ships or give them orders remotely. See, where in Elite, when you're not using a specific ship, it just sits in the station and does nothing. But what it seems, if I understand this correctly, in X4, you're going to be able to hire crew members, put them in the ship, and then give them orders. These crew members will of course have to be trained, they will be leveling up, they will be more competent, a little bit like crew members in Elite does. But the point with this is, and if you think about the implications, that means, let's say you don't enjoy a specific type of gameplay. Let's say you just think mining is the most boring thing ever, but you really want to have this manufacturing line, and you need materials that needs to be mined from resource extraction sites or from asteroid fields or wherever you're going to mine this from. So if there's a specific gameplay style that you don't really enjoy, it seems that you can kind of omit it. If, again, I'm not 100% sure if I understood it correctly, but if I did, you can omit that type of gameplay by letting it be handled by NPCs that you then have control or you tell them what to do. That's an absolutely ingenious idea, if that is the way to go with it. And then, of course, on top of that, having a more dynamic economy, allowing you to actually influence the market in a more greater way. It seems like materials is not just gonna spawn out of nowhere like they do in Elite. At least a more dynamic economy. Player trading is definitely gonna be a thing where you can, if you don't even want to make your NPCs go and buy it, you can maybe just buy the raw materials off the market from other players who was out mining and don't want to bother with the whole manufacturing process. They just want to get some easy cash for the raw materials and sell it to some manufacturing plant somewhere. So again, that to me sounds pretty awesome. The game doesn't really have, it's a sandbox game, so there's no like main storyline, but what they have is a what I would describe as a story arc. So there is like some extended, longer series of quests that kind of forms a story that you can follow. And during that process, you unlock various blueprints and other things, whether that be manufacturing blueprints or modules for your ship. I don't really know. You can, of course, modify your ships as well. But yeah, that's all gonna. So as you can see, it shapes up to be a pretty feature-rich game, especially from a game that is right on launch. And if we try to compare this to where Elite was at launch, this is already miles ahead. Now, but of course, it's now 4 years since Elite was launched, so Elite of course has a little bit of a benefit for having 4 years of post-launch development, and there's a lot of new stuff added to Elite. I mean, when Elite started out, we didn't have any. There was no cutters, there was no corvettes, there was no planetary landing, no engineering, no Thargoids, no Guardians. There was even no collector limpets, would make mining a pain, almost unplayable. I would say at that point it was really slow. So Elite has evolved a lot over the last 4 years, but at least it seems that that Egosoft, who produces X4, is just starting with a little bit more content in the game than Elite did when that started. I should mention though that, as I said earlier, I haven't really played the X4 or the X series of games, but from what I hear from other people, that Egosoft have a tendency to, when they launch the games, they are a little bit of a bug fest at the beginning, but they do iron out the bugs, and after about, of course, will vary from game to game, but after some time, bugs will be ironed out. The game will be more and more bug free over time. So that's a thing to keep in mind. Then there's a little bit on the graphics and controller side. X4 will have support for mouse, keyboard, HOTAS, and gamepads. No VR support. And as you can probably, if you've hopefully got a little bit of an idea of the graphic level from the video running here in the background, graphics in X4, it seems, is not really going to be on par to what we see in Elite. From my point of view, there's no doubt about it, Elite is the better looking game graphic-wise. And of course, VR support, you get that more immersive experience that you don't, you're not going to be able to get in the X4 series of games. So does the launch of X4 indicate the beginning of the end of Elite Dangerous? I don't think so. And the reason I don't think so is because I could definitely see a large group of Elite players who would not enjoy a game like X4. And here I'm talking about the very massive exploration communities. There are a lot of players who enjoy exploration in Elite. And for those players, I don't think X4 is going to be the game for them. Simply because the graphics doesn't really seem to be at the same level, and the no VR support, and the heavier focus towards the industrial building aspects of the game. So therefore I could definitely see that there's a lot of players who was just not going to be enjoying X4 as much as others. That being said, I can also see a very large portion of Elite's community that would definitely switch over to begin playing X4. And I'm here talking about if you are the type of guy who's getting fed up with the grind wall in Elite, because there's no doubt about it, the grind wall, and there will be some people probably posting saying, oh, the grind is in the mind. No, there is a grind in Elite. The grind wall is miles high. It is, I mean, the amount of time it takes to progress in Elite is pretty substantial, unless you have a ton of knowledge and really know the game in depth. So if you already spent thousands of hours in the game, yes, then you can progress quickly. But getting to that point takes a long time, and that's why many people feel like the grind in this game is just too much to bear, and that's one of the main complaints that I hear when I talk about people who have either already left the game or is considering leaving the game, is that it's just too much grind. It's too close to a second job. And it seems to me that the Egosoft's X4 is definitely gonna be a more a little more casual approach to the space sandbox game. So if you just want to go in, play together with your friends and build a space station, build the manufacturing lines, go out and hunt some pirates, or police some sectors and hunt or kill the pirates, or go mining, or go do whatever you want with either on your own or with friends, then I definitely think X4 could be a very big competitor. So the question now is, should you now head over to Steam and pre-order the game right away? No. First of all, I would really never recommend anyone pre-ordering anything, because we've definitely seen in the past people burning their fingers on stuff like that. So if you've been listening to what I've been saying and you just think, oh my god, this sounds like the best game ever, then sure, go ahead, buy it on launch day. If you have any doubts, what you should then do is you should wait for idiots like me to go out and buy the game, because I hands down, I'm gonna buy the game on launch, because I need to go in and see this. For me personally, I think it sounds awesome. It has a lot of the features that I've been missing in Elite for the last 3-4 years or however long I've been playing this game now. So I'm definitely gonna give X4 a go. And so if you have any doubts whether the game is for you, well, wait for it to come out, and I'll be sure to both, of course, post. There's gonna be some live streams so you can get my honest first-hand impression. I'm planning to stream the first couple of hours that I have in the game, so that you're gonna get the most honest first-hand impression that I have of the game. So there'll be no chance for me to edit anything out or do retakes. It's gonna be as raw as possible. That's why I like to live stream first impressions. And of course, later on, I'll try to do some more detailed reviews and maybe comparisons to Elite, and see how the whole thing stacks up. And then hopefully, based on that, you're going to be able to make up your own mind and then figure out if the game is for you or not. But anyway, I will promise you there will be X4 content coming to the channel in a few months when the game is finally launched. But I really hope that you found this video entertaining, useful, interesting. If you did, give it a like down below. Remember to subscribe to the channel so you can get the X4 content when it comes out. And until next time, I'll see you guys in space.